Welcome to Toffee TV. It's the reaction to Everton 1, West Brom 1. Another absolutely shite game of football at Goodison Park. I've lost count of the amount of just utter dreadful performances that we've had to witness this season at Goodison Park. It's just shit, isn't it? It really is. I'm running out of words to describe how bad a football team we have. It's just garbage. Obviously, Theo Walcott coming to the side, right midfield, Jen Tossen up front. Ashley Williams come back into the defence. Balassi was dropped for Vlasic. I mean, can we just talk about that for a minute? Vlasic, who hasn't been on the bench, back on the side. Why not? Put him back on the side. Throw the dice. Remember that lad Luchman that we had? Came on against Liverpool. Did alright, didn't he? Helped set up the goal. Wasn't even on the bench today. We had two centre-backs on the bench, which is just fucking bizarre. I just don't have a clue how this team is supposed to function. Obviously, Wayne Rooney didn't start the game. No Calvert-Lewin on the bench or Tom Davies on the bench. In fact, I thought this was a game made for Calvert-Lewin, funny enough. I thought this was a game where we needed someone up front who would just run his bollocks off all day and battle. That's not against Jen Tossen, by the way. That's just because that's the kind of game it was. We started with two holding centre midfielders against West Brom. At home against West Brom. For me, it's the negativity that's the problem in this. Listen, I know players are shit. I know they are. But for me, one of our biggest problems is the fact that our negativity, and because we're shit, allows other teams into the game. You know, I'll go back to the Watford performance, that second half, when we could not do anything but attack them. So we did, and we scored 3 goals in 20 minutes because we had to go and attack them. For me, at the moment, you look at a game like this today, we're starting off with two holding midfielders. The fullbacks won't go over the halfway line. And that just isolates people all over the pitch. We had Vlasic today. We haven't got many left footers, so we played Vlasic. Vlasic is a young lad who's, tricky. He likes to take people on. How is he supposed to take people on if the fullback won't go outside them? How is he supposed to come inside? He's only ever going to come inside, by the way. He's never going to go out the outside. So how is he supposed to go on the inside if the fullback doesn't go past him? Right? How? Ever? And it's the same on the other side. Your fullbacks have got to make runs that open the space up for your wingers. It doesn't matter who your winger is. They've got to. If you've got a winger that likes coming inside, it's going to be dead easy for them, for the defenders, because they're just going to not allow it to happen because they know there's no other option on the pitch. And I put that down to Sam Allardyce. John Joe Kenny, whenever anyone thinks of John Joe Kenny, when I watched him last season, he's not actually a very good defender in terms of, he's a modern fullback. He likes to get forward. Now, whether he's got enough in his game going forward, we'll wait and see. But for me, you're cutting off his legs if you do not allow him to go forward, because that's the kind of fullback he is. He's an attacking fullback who wants to get forward, play 1-2s and get in the box. That's who he is. He's not a defensive fullback. He just isn't. So you're saying to him, don't go over the halfway line. Don't join in. And actually just defend, which he's not brilliant at anyway. It's just mind-boggling. And on the other side, right, let's just talk about this for a moment, right? This is not a Cuckoo Martina issue. This is an Everton issue, right? We are crying out for a left-back. It's a fucking joke now. It really is a joke now. Today we had Cuckoo Martina, who isn't a very good left-back, and Vlasic, right? And as I explained to you, Vlasic wants to come inside. So we've got nothing on the outside. So we've got no attack therefore on the left-hand side. Balassi comes on. Balassi was terrible, absolutely terrible. And he's the same. He wants to come inside, but there's nothing outside. So straight away, what that does, it's dead easy. What that does is, the fullback says, I don't have to worry about going outside, so I'll come inside and become nice and tight. So that closes all the spaces off for that player when he comes inside, and it also closes all the spaces off for the midfielders to either run through or feed a ball through, and the defence becomes nice and tight, no problems, don't have to worry about anything else. And there's a big gap on the side. We got so much joy out of Pienaar and Baines because not only were they clever players, they utilised the space really, really well. Baines would come down the left, Pienaar would just drop inside. Because he's such a clever player, they wouldn't know whether he was going to come inside or give it back to Baines. Baines would just go on the outside, Pienaar would give him it back through a nice pass, and Baines would be in and would pick someone out. And that's how we did it. That, on the left and the right, we don't have that anymore. But certainly on the left-hand side, we know on the right-hand side, we're hoping, we're praying Seamus Coleman comes back and gives us something. Now, that might be till next season. But on the left, Leighton Baines is not going to come back and miraculously become the player he was when he was 28, 29. It's just not going to happen. The club need to get their heads up the fucking arses and go and buy a left back, a quality left back. Right, there's a kid at Fulham, Session, right? He's unbelievable. Scored twice today, right? Throw a bid in at least. 30 million quid, there you go. If Fulham knock it back, fine, right? The kid Tierney at Celtic, throw a bid in. The kid at Leicester, Chilwell, throw a bid in. Creswell, to a lesser extent, throw a bid in. There's players there. If Luke Garbutt isn't good enough, then therefore we have no future at left back. Because Martina isn't a left back. Leighton Baines is coming to the end of his career. And if Garbutt's not good enough, then he's not good enough. So, how are we preparing for the future if we haven't got a left back right now? Leighton Baines, for me, you could see the end coming. In the semi-final against Liverpool in 2012, he went off injured, and from that day on I thought, it's not the same player. Doesn't ever get injured. Didn't come back the same player, and then we should have been preparing for the future. No, we didn't. We've let it go on and on and on, and we've put plasters over it, and we've carried on with Baines. And instead of saying to Baines, right, we're gonna get the best out of you in your final years by playing you when we need to. We won't overstretch you. We've done that with other players. We've done that with Jagielka. We're doing it with Rooney this season. Well, we're trying to do it with Rooney. But yet we battered Baines, battered him, play every game, to the point now that he's got an injury. An injury, by the way, that he picked up in November. It's the last 10 days of January, and we haven't got a left back. It's a fucking joke. It's a fundamental part of your team. Your fullbacks going forward. They're a fundamental part of your team. They make sure, so they open the space up for your midfielders. They stretch the opposition defenders. We don't use ours. It's and I put that for the left back. Fundamentally, it fell at Martinez's door. Then it fell at Steve Walsh's door. And now, it's still at Steve Walsh's door. But for me, Allardyce should be fucking screaming for a left back. Absolutely screaming in every press conference, I want a left back. It's a fucking joke. And as I said, it's not a Martina problem. It's an Everton problem that we've had, for me, for 6 years. We should have been planning to replace Baines 6 years ago. And I think that's the main problem with the team at the moment. For me, where we are at the moment is because of shitty recruitment from Martinez in the second and third year. He bought shite. We've had to replace that shite. And we've had to do it very quickly. And now we're suffering the consequences because we've got a team that's just an absolute mess. An absolute mess. All over the pitch. And it needs... and now we're going to have to buy players to replace players that we've bought in the last 18 months. It's an absolute mess. And it's led to us having no style. no ability on the ball. Players don't know. I mean, look at today. We had 2 new players. We had Walcott and Tosin, and they're trying to get used to other players. And I thought Walcott improved second half because he was picking up on the rhythms, and he's a Premier League player. Tosin, I felt sorry for him. He's been playing in a proper 3 up front at Besiktas. He's had other centre forwards around him that opened the space. Today, the nearest man to him was James McCarthy, who was 15 yards away. It was absolutely piss poor. Absolutely terrible. And when we did try and get the ball to him, it was through a long ball. That lad next to him was about 8'7". Just, shite footballer, but knocked that away. It's a fucking joke. And part of it is the long-term strategy, and part of it is Sam Allardyce's attitude. It's piss poor. When he came in, it was defend for your lives, play Rooney in front of the back 4. It was having all the same players, and it's just got through out the window. For me today, Rooney should be starting at centre midfield next to James McCarthy, and we take the game to West Brom, and we have Sigurdsson headed up, and they link together like they were early on. And then one of them can break. You've got wingers. No, that doesn't happen. Can I just touch on Morgan Schneider in a minute? Honest to God, he should have played his last game for Everton and Lyon. He is abysmal. Abysmal. He does not want to move. He does not want to run. Every time he passes the ball, it's backwards. I've never seen the decline of a player so much in 12 months. He is horrendous. And today, let's just go on to it. Today, he caused that injury to James McCarthy. James McCarthy's injury, it's horrific. Can't ever say a bad word about that lad after what he did today. He saved that Rondon's shot on goal. It was a 1-on-1. He's about to pull the trigger, and James McCarthy comes from nowhere, slides in, and his leg takes the brunt of it. Double fracture, absolutely horrific. As soon as it happened, I seen it. It was right in front of us, and you could just see the wobble. Let's just say the wobble, like you could see the wobble in Seamus Coleman's. It's absolutely horrendous. That came from Schneider in the middle of the park losing the ball again for the umpteenth time in the game. He's absolutely terrible. Terrible player. It's not even a terrible player. There's a good player in there. His attitude, he doesn't want to play. I don't think he wants to play in this Everton team. I really don't. I think he's had enough. Why, Morales was shown the door. Why wasn't he shown the door? He's horrendous. His attitude stinks. And for me, he's caused that to James McCarthy. James McCarthy's got back, last-ditch tackle, saved us from going 2-0 down, and is bore the brunt of it. And it was a horrendous injury, and we wish him all the best. It's a year. That's a year. That's a year of his career gone. It's a horrific injury. And for us to have 2 in the space in less than a year, it's horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. I feel awful for the lad because it's a really, really bad one. Really bad one. I mean, he would have seen one of his best mates, suffer that and come back, and it's horrendous. Really feel so bad for the lad. No, but this team, it's just no one played well today. The whole of the back 4, Mason Holgate, one of the worst games we've ever seen him play. John Joe was terrible. Martina was terrible. Ashley Williams was terrible. Everyone was really indecisive. Wayne Rooney came on and he was shite. The only good thing was Nias coming on and scoring straight away. Walcott, as I say, got better as he got used to how we play and picking up on that. But I thought everybody else was... McCarthy was alright before he went off, but I just thought everyone else was just shite. Sigurdsson was okay first half, but just went out of the game. And where's the pattern of play? Where's the movement? Look at that, you can see that they've done that in training. There's nothing. They look like a bunch of Sunday League players that have just been thrown on the pitch. It's awful. Awful to watch. And the fans, you know what? I've seen some bad Everton teams, right? And I've always thought, booing's not the right thing. I didn't have a problem with anyone booing those players today. It was gutless. It was heartless. Against the West Brom team that are not very good, but yet we played into them all the time. We we just kept kicking it long. It was food and drink for them. Whereas what we should be doing is getting it wide, getting behind them, having players to come on the pitch like Lookman, who run at them and they don't know what they're going to do. We brought Balassi on, he was terrible, absolutely terrible. He hasn't got a clue what he wants to do with the ball. He looks terrified of running at pace. Why is he getting picked ahead of Lookman? Why is the manager looking at him going, well, he'll do a better job than him? That to me is bewildering. Lookman hasn't had a sniff after coming off the bench at Anfield. That to me is criminal. That's criminal. And I lay that firmly at the manager's door. Some people won't, but I do. Because as bad as we are, they're the decisions the manager makes, as far as I'm concerned. And it's what we are now, 28 points. We're still in ninth. Fucking God knows how. But you know what? This is what I'm worried about. I'm worried that we're going to sit in ninth and feel all dead comfortable. And all those teams behind us are all just going to get a little bit closer to us, one by one. And then we're going to have a little spell. And suddenly we're going to drop from 9th to like 15th and be right in the shit. Because I just feel like Allardyce thinks, well, his body language to me is like, they were terrible, but it's alright, we're safe. But we've got 10 days now and we play Leicester, and I honestly think Leicester will fucking batter us. I honestly think they will. Because Vardy will be too fast for us and Mahrez will be too clever for us. I think they'll fucking batter us after what I've seen today. Players who can't string 2 passes together. A defence that can't, no one can pass it out to defence, so they go long. And again, it's having full-backs, it's having a left-back who's comfortable on the ball. The goalie can throw the ball to the left-back and he'll just get the ball and play it through midfield. We have a left-back now, you throw the ball at him, he shits himself. Turns 180 and then gives it to Williams, who shits himself, and follow on and carry on and carry on and carry on. I've seen some bad Everton sides, right? But I've never seen such a bad Everton side that cost so much money. And that's what makes it worse. And you get the feeling that they're just throwing darts. Recruitment board, dart. Yeah, if that player, sign him. Sign a fucking left back. Sign a left back, right? Sign a proper left back who knows how to play left back, who's good at left back, that can get players up the pitch, that can get up the field, that suddenly opens the pitch open for us. So we've got options on the left, options on the right. So that when the opposition are doing their tactics, they go, don't worry about the left-hand side. They've got fucking nothing. And actually, just every time Martina gets the ball, just run at him, because he'll shit himself and kick it out for a throw, and we'll get possession back. If Everton can't simply go out and buy a left-back, then that tells you that the club stinks. Simple as that. Simple as that. Today should have been a tough but well-deserved 3 points. And in the end, West Brom should feel... Well, West Brom fans should feel like me, but the opposite. They should be like, we fucking battered them today. Hitting the bar in the last minute. Going close. I mean, they had 15 shots. They had more shots on target today, West Brom, than we have in this year before today. Well, he could have had 1 shot on target, couldn't he? And still had that. It's absolutely abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. And they need to get their shit sorted because I'm sick of it. It's fucking shite. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'll be doing the player ratings. Look out for Baz's instant match reaction and his 3 points from today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later.